Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today's story about what's something you wish you started doing earlier in life. Not worrying about having lots of friends. In my younger years I tried to be friends with too many people at once and didn't have any solid friendships. Having a few really close friends is far better than many wishy-washy friends. Being honest with the people around me and not lying to myself about who I am. Getting up early and just doing what needs to be done in a day instead of putting it off forever. Update: I've been how I do this, or how I got started. Honestly, I got started by getting up early for work. Slowly it became my new norm to get up at 7 AM on my days off. The getting things done part was trickier. I guess I started by doing small things like cleaning or doing errands right away. Like if I was washing clothes, I wouldn't let them sit in the dryer. I would take them out right away and hang them up. Eventually it just became a routine and part of my life. Being myself more. I remember I constantly changing my personality based on the friends I was hanging out with, which made me very unhappy. But now that I started being myself around people that actually like me has made much more accepting of myself. Exercising. Cold avoided so much joint and back pain, asthma, and self-confidence issues if I started years earlier. Yoga made me a much fitter, more confident, and happy person. Taking my health more seriously. Specifically quitting smoking and making it stick. I'm now 5 years nicotine free, but that's after 33 years of smoking. Accepting myself and not tying who I'm to other people's perceptions. It took me so long to accept my brain and my neurology, much less be proud of it, like I'm now. It really screwed up my self-esteem when I was little, and I didn't really get out of that until high school. Saving money. Still so angry at teenage me for buying all that crap when I could have been building a nice pot up without even having to sacrifice too much disposable income, which was most of my income at that age. Taking my diet seriously. Not long before my 25th birthday I had high blood pressure, insulin resistance, from PCOS apparently, popping joints, fatigue, permanent discoloration from obesity, chub rub, sleep apnea. The past 3 months I've lost 15 out of the 150 I need to lose, so the road ahead is long. I just want to be hot and alive while I'm still in my 20s LMAO. Saving for retirement. It's always said, and mostly ignored, until you get older and realize you've made a great mistake. To compare, if you started saving just $200 a month at 18 to retire at 65, you would end up with approximately $330,000 at a low rate of return. If you waited just 10 more years to start saving the same amount and started saving $200 a month at age 28, you would only have $200,000. Your best friend for saving for retirement is time. Even if you are only saving $50 a month at 18, it is still vastly better than saving $200 a month if you've waited too long to start. Edit: I feel compelled to add this, since most of you are focusing on the dollar amount and not the point. The point is, start saving sooner rather than later. Forget the $200, save what you can. The dollar amount does not matter, just save something. Ideally 10% of your paycheck, but that's not possible for many. So something, even if it's only $10. Anything. Eating food with more spice, thus trying foods from other cultures. 4 years the spiciest food I ate had only salt and pepper, and I missed out on so many other foods from so many other cultures. Investing. Put 10% of every paycheck into stocks, bonds, Roth IRA, etc. I never did, and ended up getting a military retirement instead. I would have been so much better off if I had invested right out of high school and just kept doing it. Watching movies. I have always been a reader and watched movies very rarely, but due to lockdown I was looking for some movie recommendations and made a list of movies my favorite writers liked. Watched every movie by Fellini and Chaplin and now it feels like falling in love. I have literally watched a movie a day last month. Quitting my old job to find something better. I'm a person of habit and I stayed there because it was stable and I was afraid of losing that if I tried to find another job. I dropped an application at another company with my years of experience listed right on the front. My phone blew up the next day. They wanted to hire me on the spot. Offered me double what I was currently making. I nearly had a heart attack. It's been almost a year now, and I couldn't be happier. Learning a second language. My dad's side of the family are from France and came over to the UK during WW2. My nan wanted to teach me French when I was younger, but being a stupid kid I just wanted to play PlayStation and never bothered. It is the one regret I have in life. Now she is no longer here, I'm teaching myself. I would highly recommend learning a second language for any reason, even just as a way to pass time on a train with Duolingo. For me, the one I could have started earlier is drinking enough water. I cut out soda in my first year of high school, but I didn't really replace it with anything. All throughout high school and up until I actually graduated from undergrad, I would proudly say I'm like a cactus. I just don't need that much water. Well, I finally started drinking the proper amount of water just to try it. I felt amazing. My chronic headaches were basically gone. I had energy. My skin looked great. It's been maybe 3 years since then, and I've been drinking tons of water ever since. I can't believe how many terrible headaches I could have avoided by just drinking more water. My siblings roll their eyes at me, but they get chronic headaches too. So I always tell them to drink more water. They don't listen at all though. Only time will tell, so I hope they figure it out, like I did. Learning how to manage my finances. Through my 20s, I wasn't a mindful spender and racked up some debt, $20k. I wasn't able to pay it off because I was at a low-paying apprenticeship, but I finally paid off my last credit card last week. Now I'm planning on saving for the real estate market correction and pick up some properties. For me, I wish I got on medication like 10 years ago instead of just living with it and accepting that this is the way life is for me. Meds make me feel so normal, and it's wonderful. I finally feel like I have full control over my own emotions. No more crazy mood swings that leave me feeling like I'm fighting with myself. Life doesn't have to be a struggle if you're willing to accept you have a problem and get help. Saving for retirement. Like many 20-somethings just starting adult life, I never even considered the future. It wasn't until I was 40 and starting with a company that offered a retirement plan that I realized how much investment time I had wasted. Now at 60, I'm realizing that I may never be able to live comfortably in retirement, never mind when my old age medical bills start piling up. Transitioning. Granted, given all the transphobia in high school and possibly in college, it probably would have been hell for younger me if I came out then. So, maybe it's not the end of the world, that it's only over the past year and a half that I've finally stopped trying to repress my gender identity. I mostly just wish I could come to terms sooner and not spent the past 2 decades lost and frustrated. Tennis. Picked up a racket for the first time in summer between my junior and senior year in high school. Was #5 guy on team that first spring. By summer I was playing competitively and occasionally beating the #1 guy. A few more years head start, and the high school years would have been interesting, I think. Ditching coffee and drinking water all day instead. I feel so much better waking up and not needing a coffee to get my day started. And instead of drinking 2 or 3 pots of Java per day, I just have a big mug that I keep filled with ice water by my side. It's nice not to be dependent on a stimulant, and I'm sure my health is better because I'm always hydrated. Plus, my teeth look whiter, I don't have to chew gum to cover my coffee breath, and I'm saving money. Plus, now when I do occasionally have a coffee, it's a treat rather than just feeding my addiction. I still have maybe 1 or 2 cups a month in a social setting. Conquering my anxiety. I've recently been able to overcome a lot of the anxieties I've struggled with since I joined middle school, which were then spun out of control with the deterioration of my dad's health. Before I struggled to talk to most people about anything important to me or my health, even those who were my closest friends, and especially my family. Now I can talk to my friends, but I'm still working on my fear of being exposed by strangers or my family making me feel shit if I told them anything personal.